My name is Lily, and for 4 years I believed my marriage to Ethan was built on honesty. Steady, warm, and real. At least, that's what I thought. Until last month, when a single photo shattered everything I knew about the man I loved. It all started at a retirement dinner for my friend Jessica's mom, Diane. Diane used to be a foster care volunteer, just one of the kindest people you could ever meet. I was helping clean up afterward, taking some plates into a storage room. That's where I saw it, a small wooden box, overflowing with old photographs. I've always been a curious person, and Diane loved sharing her old pictures, so I smiled and started looking through them. And then, my world stopped. Tucked in the middle of the stack was a photo of a baby boy. He had chubby cheeks, was wrapped in a blue blanket, and had these incredibly bright green eyes. Holding him tightly was Diane. But the real shock, the thing that made my blood run cold, was the baby. He looked exactly like my husband Ethan. I don't mean a slight resemblance. It was him. The same eyes, the same birthmark under his right eyebrow, the same tiny curled fist. My mind went completely blank. Just then, Diane walked in. I tried to sound casual as I pointed to the picture. "Who's this adorable baby?" I asked. Her smile vanished instantly. She took a deep, shaky breath and said softly, "Lily, I think you should talk to Ethan about this. It's not my story to tell." The way her voice trembled sent a chill down my spine. Why would she say that? How could she have a baby photo of my husband, a man who swore he'd never even met her family before? The drive home was a blur. My thoughts were spiraling out of control. Was Ethan adopted? Was Diane secretly his relative? And why? Why would he lie to me about something so fundamental? I decided not to confront him right away. Instead, I started watching him. His every smile, every word, every gesture suddenly felt like a performance. Everything about him felt foreign. 2 days later, while he was at work, I couldn't resist any longer. I went through his old storage boxes in the garage. Buried deep under a pile of books, I found a sealed envelope. My hands shook as I opened it. Inside was a faded hospital bracelet. The name printed on it was Baby Boy, Nathaniel Evans. My husband's name is Ethan Evans, Nathaniel Evan. They were almost the same. My chest tightened until it hurt. I felt like I was drowning. When Ethan got home that evening, I couldn't hold it in anymore. I looked him straight in the eye and asked, "Why does Diane have your baby photo?" He froze. He didn't look confused or surprised. He just looked caught. He sat down heavily on the sofa and whispered, "I hoped this day would never come." My stomach plummeted. He finally looked at me, his eyes filled with a pain I'd never seen before. "My real name isn't Ethan," he confessed. "It's Nathaniel, and Diane. She's more than just a family friend. She's the woman who took care of me when no one else would." I was struggling to process his words. "What do you mean, took care of you?" Ethan rubbed his face, his eyes welling up with tears. "My biological parents were addicts. When I was 6 months old, they left me alone in a motel room. Diane was the social worker who found me, and for 2 years, she raised me." For a split second, my anger started to dissolve into sympathy. But then he said something that broke my heart all over again. "Diane wanted to adopt me, but my parents came back. They got clean just long enough to get custody of me again, and for the next 12 years of my life, I suffered." He looked down at his hands, his whole body shaking. "I changed my name the day I turned 18. I ran away from everything. I didn't want that past to follow me. I didn't want you to see the broken person I used to be." My voice was barely a whisper. "You lied to me, Ethan." He nodded, tears now streaming down his face. "I did. Because I loved you so much. But that didn't explain everything. Why hide Diane from me? Why pretend you didn't know her?" His voice cracked. "Because she knows too much. She knows every horrible detail about my childhood. Everything I fought so hard to forget, to bury. I couldn't stand the thought of you seeing me as the kid nobody wanted." His pain was raw, real, and it was tearing me apart. But the fact remained. He didn't trust me with his deepest wounds. I sat down next to him, my anger replaced by a profound sadness for the boy he once was. I asked quietly, "Why now, Ethan? Why did fate lead me to that picture now?" He hesitated, then took a shaky breath. "Because Diane is dying. She called me 2 weeks ago. She didn't want to leave this world without seeing me one last time." My heart completely shattered. He continued, "She begged me to visit, but I refused. I wasn't ready to face her, or my past. That photo you found, she planted it. She knew you'd find it. She wanted you to know the truth because she knew you would be the one to push me. She trusted you." I wiped the tears from my own eyes. "And what do you want, Ethan?" He looked at me, his expression the saddest I had ever seen on his face. "I want to stop running. I took his hand in mine and held it tight. Then let's go see her. The next morning, we drove to Diane's house together. The moment she saw Ethan walk through her door, she broke down, sobbing uncontrollably. He walked straight to her and wrapped her in a hug, holding her tightly for the first time in 20 years. And in that incredibly powerful moment, I finally understood. Sometimes, people don't hide their past because they don't trust you. They hide it because they do untrust themselves to still be loved once you know the whole truth. Ethan isn't perfect. His past is messy and scarred. But he's my husband. And now, instead of running from his past, we're finally facing it together. Thank you for listening.